Au revoir, my Frenchmen, and welcome to part 2 of the French campaign. My voice still slightly hurts, but not as bad as it was. Ooh, can we use these mortars? Yes, we can. That's too smart for my good. But we are playing as the French, and this way it doesn't matter if we lose or not, because then we can be historically accurate. And it's time for me to go on about French firearms. And it's most serendipitous, because I happen to see one of the rifles that I am currently holding today. This rifle is the Lebel Model 1886 rifle. So, this was the first rifle ever designed to use smokeless gunpowder. For the French invented smokeless powder, and then they decided that they would urgently need to get the advantage over the Germans as quick as possible, because they were still in their rivalry phase with the Germans. So they hurriedly built a rifle as quick as they could, and that rifle ended up being the Lebel. It incorporated ideas from the Gras bolt-action rifle, single-shot black powder bolt-action rifle, and the Kropotschek rifles that were used by the French Navy. I mean, one of those things of it was outdated as soon as it was designed type of rifles. 8-round tube magazine, like a Henry repeater or something. See, open. So you gotta manually put rounds into the tube, like that. It's incredibly slow and painful. And the 8mm Lebel, see, and you've got to do that little double bolt thing to get the thing going. So you can fit 8 rounds in the tube. You could fit 1 in the elevator. And theoretically you could put 1 in a chamber, but that was against official French practices. Ooh, you're talking about... I'll talk about that later. So it was an interesting rifle, as I said. Outdated as soon as it was designed. The 8mm Lebel round was literally 11mm Gras necked down to 8mm. Again, not a very good round, because it had a double tapering. Man, I didn't actually think Stugs were around this early in the war. That's quite fascinating. Suck it, Panzer IV. My grenade actually hit the tank directly, and it did nothing. Although I will say, the sights on this thing aren't too bad. Shite. The 50 billion year reload is a problem though. So yes, this was the standard French rifle from 1886, and it was the... well, it was officially the French Army rifle for World War One, but in 1909, the French Army did this stupid thing that they're guilty of doing. They decided they've got enough guns to equip the army, so they shut down manufacturing. And in 1914 came along, shite, and they decided that they desperately needed more firearms. So they adapted their cavalry carbine, the Berthier. If we get one in game, I can talk about it. To use instead. But they still used these for World War One, and they actually still had them around for World War Two. So they tried converting some of these to 7.5mm French, which was the replacement for, damn it, 8mm Lebel. But unfortunately, it didn't quite work out that way. So the 7.5 conversions, I think they only made 3,500 of them? No, they only made 3,500 of the long rifle conversions. They converted quite a few into carbines, keeping them as 8mm Lebel, but shortening the capacity to 3 rounds. Ooh, artillery. Shortening the capacity to 3 rounds. Oh, it's just set piece, we can't use it. Lame. Shortening the capacity to 3 rounds. So yeah, these were still around in World War II. Obviously they were issued to reservists, like what we are currently playing as. Whereas frontline troops got the Mas 36, which again, when I get my hands on one, I will talk about later in the campaign. What am I armed with? I have TNT. Right, have fun with that, tank. Come on. Yes! Beautiful. Oh, that was magnificent. Damn it. Antoine Dufour was killed, but he took down an enemy tank. So, I consider that worthy. Oh, I don't want to play as a mortar man. Can I please switch to someone else? Oh, you're on a, this is quite interesting. You are on a French Model 1914 Hotchkiss machine gun. So this was the standard heavy machine gun of the World War I for the French. 8mm Lebel fed by 24 round stripper clips. Come on. It was pretty much indestructible because there was literally bugger all to go wrong with these things. They were incredibly heavy. Reliable, dependable. Again, they were not the standard French issue machine gun of the Second World War. But the French obviously dragged them out of storage because they needed something. And so we've ended up still using them. They're quite rare. I don't know anyone in my collecting circles that has one. I know someone that's got the 1922 light machine gun Hotchkiss, but no one that has the 1914 heavy gun. Not even in any of the museums, believe it or not, because I have looked. Yeah. 8mm Lebel, 24 round stripper clip. The thing about this gun in particular is it was air cooled, not water cooled, and the air cooling was done by the fact that the bolt and the gas piston and everything around it was so enormously massive that you would need to sustain fire this thing for hours in order to overheat it. Yeah, it's an interesting gun. Again, this is much more valuable than my 1886 Lebel for holding this position, but I don't expect to win because we are French. And ever since a Corsican was leading the French, I don't have much faith for the French in this particular fight. Reload. I really need to get off this gun and heal myself. Now, get back on the gun. Damn it! Michel Dupont. We're killed. Oh! Unfortunates of war. It is a bit demoralizing spawning and immediately getting shot. Damn it, that entire squad was wiped out. Got that German though. Ooh. Oh, we got to talk about this. This is the Renault FT-17 tank. This was the first ever tank with a revolving turret. That's right. It was the most successful tank of World War I. The French and the Americans used them, and this pretty much inspired every other tank. Because any tank that has a revolving turret and this layout was inspired from the FT-17. And the French still had some in service in Second World War, which shows how desperate they were. This particular one is set up with a 1914 Hotchkiss machine gun, but the other option you could have was a 37mm cannon. Not an anti-tank gun, it was a cannon. A little short stubby howitzer. I'm being cautious because there's an enemy panzer there that we don't want to be hit by because we will be destroyed instantly. Shite. We have got a Mars 36 bolt action rifle. This is what replaced the 1886 Lebel. 7.5mm French, 5 rounds bolt action rifle. It had no... You all got Lebels. Anyone got anything else interesting to talk about? Or are we just talking about... Oh, you've got a 24-29. Yeah, but it has no safety. That's an interesting fact about the Mars 36. You basically just kept it unloaded. There is no safety on it. It is the most uncomplicated gun you can imagine. I like it. As I said, I have a Mars 36. It is a nice bolt action rifle. I wish 7.5 French wasn't so expensive because I'd probably shoot it more. But it is genuinely a good gun. And so is this. I've talked about this already in the casino campaign when we messed around with it. So some of my words will be rehashes, but just indulge me. This is the French Châtellerault model 24-29 light machine gun. Oh, I missed on that. Has anyone got anti-shite? I didn't even get to talk about the gun. I will need someone with anti-tank grenades, please. You have an F1 grenade. Oh, he's got a... That's a Panzer II. It's adorable. Yeah, my frag grenade's not really going to do much. Hello. Hi, dead Frenchman. Do one of you please... You've got TNT. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, it's interesting I've got an 1886 full length and I don't have a, Run. Oh! Magnificent. Oh, I was killed by the fucking tank crewman of the tank I just knocked out. Damn it. Renault FT17. We'll go anti-tank group. Because I think the anti-tank rifle will be useful here. But yeah, it's interesting that they're using full-length Rebels and not R35 carbines or Berthier's. Berthier's were another interesting French rifle. The French wanted a rifle to give to colonial troops. They didn't want to give them Rebels. So they created a free-shot in-block clip rifle, which was the 1907 Berthier. They then adapted it for their Senegalese African troops. Holy balls, we're being overrun by infantry. I'm not even going to need my anti-tank rifle here. How am I still alive? Genuinely. I'm out of bullets, I know that. Oh shit, now I'm out of bullets. I'm very fortunate I had that one extra fucking round. Alright, I've got about 5 in the rifle. That'll do. I need the anti-tank rifle. Reload. I really thought I would have been destroying this tank at point blank range with the anti-tank rifle. Shite. Oh shit. TNT, of course. No, don't reload the anti-tank rifle. Fucking get the TNT. Get the TNT. I can stick it to the side of the tank. Now run like shite. Oh, gosh. Back across the bridge. Tactical withdrawal. Vive la France. Out of curiosity. Oh, we're still holding points on this side of the river. Damn it. I was retreating too far. Come on. We are putting up a better fight than I genuinely thought. Honestly. And because I played this campaign before, I don't need to win as a faction in order to progress. So if I lose as the French, I don't care because I'm having fun and I can still play the next mission. Right. Shite. Oh, you're a Frenchman. Oh, Bofors 40mm. I didn't think the French had Bofors 40mm, but again, why? I suppose there's no reason to model the French anti-aircraft guns if only a handful of missions. Yeah, you've got a Lebel. Oh, shit. You have a MP-28 submachine gun. I'm assuming that was a tank shell that killed me. Now, the French got MP-28s, believe it or not, from Spain. The Spanish Republicans retreating into France when the nationalists took over. I think about 2,000 MP-28s that the French got, and they just sort of reissued them out to troops because, you know, we need a we need a submachine guns yesterday, and our Mars 38s are not being produced quite fast enough. Gosh, this is painful. See what I mean about the reload? There's a reason tube mags never caught on for military rifles. Damn it. Reservist combat group. Marksman. Oh, that'll be an 1886 Lebel with the scope. But yes, this is the Chatellerault 2429 light machine gun. Again, I've talked about this thing before, but this was what the French replaced the Chauchat with. Excellent light machine gun. 7.5 French. It had a 25 round detachable box magazine. Oh, there might be some new people here who don't know the history. So, end of World War One. The French army came to the conclusion that all of their guns were shite. And their 8mm Lebel cartridge in particular was extra shite. So they wanted to replace absolutely everything. The first thing was they wanted a new round, a new cartridge. The second thing they wanted... these peep sights are not quite as good as a blade sight, actually. The first thing they wanted was a new cartridge, and the first gun they wanted for that cartridge was a new light machine gun. So the... crawl away. They wanted was a new light machine gun. Oh, we can pick up my previous dead light machine gunner. Hi. I'll take your ammo, my previous dead incarnation. So, the French army held a light machine gun trial, and said to all the people making light machine guns, please bring us your light machine gun so we can hold this trial. They tested the Vickers-Berthier, the Browning automatic rifle, well, what would become the Vickers-Berthier, prototype of the Hotchkiss 1922. There's the stairs. Madsen gun. So I tested everything that was currently going. They came to the conclusion that the Browning automatic rifle was the best, and they wanted to go with that. Fair enough, good on them. So they approached Colt in America and said, hey, could we please have the technical package for the Browning automatic rifle? The Colt came back with an astronomical figure in the millions. The French went, no. And then they sort of went, well, now what are we going to do? And it was one of the testing board officers who said, hey, we've just done a trial of all of the best light machine guns in the world. Why don't we take all of our notes, give them to the Chatellerault arsenal, and tell them to make a gun based on the best features from all the designs we've reviewed? And they went, that's a great idea. Good work. And bodged together that gun. Oh, we're down to reservist groups. Which became the French Model 1924. That uses the layout from the Vickers-Berthier, the gas system directly copied from the Browning automatic rifle to create this thing. As I said, I view it as a gun that was ahead of its time when it was made, but it was unfortunately out of date by the time of World War II. Lack of quality of life features, like lack of a quick change barrel and stuff like that, I really think hampered it. Shite, I didn't have enough rounds for it. But I genuinely think it's an ingenious light machine gun. I do genuinely rate them. They were used all the way until the 1980s, pretty much. Although they were officially replaced with the AA-52 light machine gun in 1953. Even so, it was still a nice gun. Reload. But yeah. Here we go. Now. Oh. Not doing too well here, my fellow Frenchmen. Right. Bandage myself up. Map, please. Okay. Yep, map, please. Okay, so we need to defend in front of us and to the right of us. Right. Oh. I've messed around with a friend's one of these guns, and I must admit, you can carry it. It's not disgustingly heavy, but it's probably not something you wouldn't want to be shoulder firing a lot. You can do it, and I reckon if you were, you know, in the Foreign Legion and designed to train... Oh shit! He's got a ZB-26 light machine gun. Oh, I want my 2429 back, please. Take into inventory. Go! This thing. This is the ZB-26 light machine gun. Czechoslovakian made. I won't go full out into it because I don't have ammo for it and anything. But this is what became the Bren gun. So the Czechoslovakians came up with this, and basically if you were a minor nation in World War II, you probably had one of these. They were used all over the place. Now, I'm incredibly popular and incredibly decent light machine gun. As I said, they became the Bren gun. The ZB-26 became the ZB-30, and the ZB-33 was turned into the Bren gun. They are incredibly reliable, durable, decent light machine guns. See, I know someone who's got two of these things. And we'll drop the ZB-26. Drop. And we'll pick up my Châtellerault 24 or 29 again. But yeah, everyone thinks that the French 24-29 was inspired by this. This thing actually predates it. But the ZB has a quick change barrel. It's got a slightly more refined bolt. I would honestly say the ZB is superior. But it's one of those things of, yeah, it's one of those things of this gun here was technically advanced when it came out, but it was replaced by stuff that was just a little bit better than it. Like the ZB and the Bren gun and stuff like that. Damn it! Luftwaffe are just tearing us to shreds. But we're giving as good as we're getting, honestly. I'm genuinely surprised how well we're doing. Oh, now that's interesting. That soldier shoved a round directly into the breech. Then he started loading the tube mag. That's what soldiers actually did in the field, but it was against official manual, the official manual. You were supposed to only load the tube mag. Honestly, this thing is not that awful. Like, the sights are nice. If it wasn't for that 50 billion year reload, honestly, it's not bad at all. Right. As I said, look at these sights. It's just a simple blade. It's not an aperture or anything. It's just... If you're trying to aim accurately for long range fire, then a aperture sight is genuinely the way to go. But if you're engaging in street fighting close up, you don't want to be peeping through an aperture sight. You want to just see the person in front of you and pull the trigger. And that's why I think blade sights are superior in this regard. Ooh, bloody French Germans on the... damn it, on the right flank. Oh, Armand Jolet. Oh, okay, we have ourselves a black gum. That guy there wasn't probably many bits of that guy left. Reload. Damn it. Nah, it just took one grenade. I think evaporating that German though was a laugh. Oh, shoot, those are our side. Nearly open fire on them. I really need to find a way to get into that courtyard, because this machine gun would be quite useful, but there's not really any spaces to negotiate a tank into such a confined area. Well, we've got some more French infantry, so that's alright. But yeah, I don't remember how many French FT-17s were still in use, but I know they were. I do know the Germans took a couple of them, or took some of them after the surrender. I think they turned them into gun tractors, pretty much though, because honestly, the armour in this thing is only designed to stop 8mm World War One standard 8mm rounds, so 8x57. It's pretty much bulletproof and splinterproof. Anti-tank rifle would punch through this thing like it was paper. Any realistic shell would punch through this thing like it was paper. Only 2-man, but then again it only needs to be 2-man because you've only got a machine gun. Well, in this version you've only got a machine gun up the top. Incredibly slow. I think you could only get up to 14 miles an hour in it. But as I said, the layout and the design inspired every other modern tank, because if you have a tank that has a rotating turret, well, guess what? You copied it from this. I must say, this position is pretty good because we've got a good covering fire on the bridge here. Oh, our tank is immobilized. Well, sod it, we're just going to be a pillbox. We've got a fucking machine gun. Oh, and a 222 armoured car. Right, tactical withdrawal with my Mars 36 bolt action rifle. This rifle was actually, as I said, it replaced the Lebel, but this thing was not actually supposed to be the official frontline French Army rifle. This was supposed to be the rifle that they gave to reservists, while the French Army frontline troops got a fancy new semi-automatic rifle. The semi-automatic rifle was prototyped in May 1940. The French surrendered in June. So yeah, they never got their semi-automatic rifle until after the war. Now, where am I going to run away? Hello? Oh, over there. I'm going to say the tactical... Oh, actually, there should be an exclamation mark to allow me to retreat, but I can't find it, so I'm not going to bother. We're just going to use the 36. As you can see, it has aperture peep sights. 5-round bolt action rifle. See what I mean about the aperture sights not quite being good in close quarter fighting? Yep, 5-round stripper clip. There is no safety or anything on this thing. Grenade. Yeah, 75mm French. They kept this thing going until the mid-1950s. They replaced it with the Mars 44, then the Mars 49 semi-auto rifles. But they also eventually used this thing for grenade launching, because launching a grenade off a semi-automatic rifle was a good way to break it. So, just a bit of a fun fact there. I see my little French aircraft. What are we armed with? We've got 20mm shells and 7mm machine guns. Well, 8. Yeah, no, these will be 7.5 machine guns. Gosh, that 109 has an incredible turning circle. We've got no bombs, and we've not got any real ground support here. Yeah, the French Air Force was mostly pretty much shot off the ground. They didn't actually do too much in the Battle of France. They did their best. Got it! Oi, sod off, Luftwaffe. Wait, that was a Stuka. Why is a Stuka trying to dogfight? Damn it. They shot the pilot out the plane. I'm still I'm grateful I got that enemy, pretty sure it was an enemy 222 armoured car. Oh, we may as well be this. We may as well be the rifle, move and hold. Oh, sadness for the French. Holy shit, we won? What the hell? How did we win? That's not right. We suffered massive casualties though.